Hey everybody, my name is Maria and I want to talk to you about mental health. It is a big thing in the news right now. It is something that should always be talked about, but in particular I want to talk about parental mental health and even more specifically, parents with mental health differences raising children with mental health differences. And I say differences because if you say illness, it's very difficult for a child to understand that. So I use differences. We're not sick, we're different. We think differently. We observe the world differently. We react to it differently. And I'm saying we because this is the whole thing. I want to talk to you about parents with mental health differences raising children with mental health differences. There is a movement for taking care of your own mental health, and there's a movement for taking care of children's mental health and neurological disorders and illnesses, and there's nobody talking about the older generation raising the younger generation and that link and how hard that can be. There's so little study on it that I actually went to a parent sponsored event at my school, at my daughter's school, for ADHD for children. And I said, hey, the counselor afterwards, I asked her flat out, hey, I also have ADHD. Is there any help available for parents with ADHD raising children with ADHD? More specifically, complex ADHD, which is something we both have, which is ADHD with one or more other diagnosed disorders by mental health professional. ADHD and OCD for me is the primary issues, and then for my daughter it's ADHD and ODD, which if you don't know is oppositional defiance disorder, and that in itself it's its own its own little mess in a handbasket. But I wanted to talk to you about raising parents with ADHD, raising kids with ADHD, and you can tell that I have ADHD because of the way that my mind is currently thinking. This is not going to be edited. I'm not going to go back. I'm not going to switch it. This is just how I am and how I think. So this is all going to be in one take. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be issues. It's going to be all over the place, but it's real. And I think that's what needs to be out there. Parents like me raising children the same way. Anyway, back to the original story. I asked her flat out, this is somebody who studies ADHD in children, by mind you. This is her entire job. Flat out, is there any help for children with ADHD or being raised by parents with ADHD? Because I'm having a very hard time trying to figure out how I can help her while also trying to manage myself. And she flat out, without hesitating, said, I am so sorry for you. That sounds like hell. And sometimes it can be. If I'm not managed correctly, then obviously my daughter gets any runoff from it, any explosions from it. At ADHD, it's quite an explosive thing. If you don't catch it early and get yourself into a different room, you can take it out on your children, and it's horrible. And nobody wants to do it. Nobody likes to do it. I hate when it happens, but I'm also learning from it. And every single time I sit down with my daughter and we talk about it and we talk through it. But then she also has the same thing. So there is literally nothing out there. If there is something out there, then it isn't mainstream. It isn't public. It isn't something that other health professionals are really talking about. So that's what I want to get out there and everybody. We need to talk more about parents with mental health disorders raising children with mental health disorders. So join me on this journey. I'll go through everything that I do, kind of like a weird blog, educational. I am not a psychologist. I have never studied psychology more than 2 semesters in college, but I have seen a lot and I have done a lot of research. And because I'm the only person who's really like this that I know of, this is kind of new. So please give me your guys' advice, your tips, your tricks, anything that you have learned. This is not easy, and there's more than you just out there. I'm here, and the only reason why I'm doing this on the interwebs is because I had a lot of people ask if there's something that I would do, if that's something that I would be willing to do. It's scary, mostly because you're a mom saying that you have a mental health disorder and you're raising a child the same way. And I don't know about you, but I watch the news and I don't want my child taken away from me. I am a great mother. I am a better mother than I ever had. I'll tell you that. And better than a lot of people that I see out there. But you throw mental health illness in there, you throw those issues out, and it's scary. And it's not something that's talked about because it's so scary, because there's a lot of backlash, and because there's so much that can go wrong with it. So we need to stop that, though. Mental health disorder does not mean that something's going to happen to children. It means that we just think a little bit differently, right? You're neurodivergent. That's a good word to use, right? You're different neurologically than everybody else. And that's kind of how I raised my daughter. I always tell her, baby, we're going to have to do things this way because our minds think a little bit differently. So join me. Like I said, tips and tricks all in one take. It's going to be erratic and it's going to be horrible and it's going to not be consistent, but it's going to be real. And call me out on stuff. Give me your tricks, give me your tips. We're all in this together. I'm hoping one day this will actually be a true nonprofit. So join me. Have a nice day, everybody. Bye.